today in divorce court?
Yes, Judge Scholler. I'm here today because my wife, she wants to be in an open relationship, and I cannot stand it. Let me tell you a little more about that. So I came home a year ago, and she gave me the ultimatum. She told me that if I didn't want to be in an open relationship, that she was going to leave me. And that hurt me so bad, but it goes further. So I was in Florida visiting my dad, who was on his deathbed. He was dying with cancer. And she was on a business trip up in Northern California, and she went and had something with somebody.
Okay.
Ms. Cordova, is that true that you want to have an open relationship?
Okay, so part of it is true. Yes, I think I was definitely tired of not getting the love that I needed. I'm just over this whole situation already. It's been so many times that I've been trying to just be more sexy with him, be more romantic.
It used to be that a woman's inability to faithfully support her husband in an open marriage would bring shame on the entire family. But these days, it's the other way around. Just like those parasites, open marriages have no symbiotic relationship with their host, but live off of it for that matter. Who is the host again? Yes, he's the man. If you step back and look at modern relationships from every angle, you'll be shocked by how vicious and nasty modern women can be. The naive and self-absorbed woman who had initially proposed an open marriage is the subject of today's video, which takes a look at how the marriage turned out badly for her. The couple in this story has been married for 14 years, but they were unable to have children, so they decided to opt for an open marriage a few years ago. Here's a storyline about a 44-year-old man who took a trip to Colombia and was so inspired by the country that he decided to quit his job and relocate permanently. The wife of an open marriage is convinced that her husband no longer cares about her. Even if my perspective is Kate's, I still know that men can't compete with the malicious methods women use to get noticed. Having an open marriage benefited her far more than it did him. Shockingly, it's much simpler for a woman, even a mediocre one, because she has access to far more potential partners, and of course they're bums. I'm not suggesting who came up with the idea, but isn't it universally believed that women benefit more than men from this morally questionable practice? A middle-aged white man recently traveled to Colombia for business and thoroughly enjoyed his time there. Obviously, he had no trouble attracting a large number of young women, and this has encouraged him to consider making a permanent move there. As a result, our egocentric wife is at a loss once again. It's not clear whose idea this was, but I have a strong suspicion that it was hers. And this demonstrates why open marriages and relationships don't work. She was the only one who wanted an open marriage and relationship. Our protagonist, the United States, we've been married for 14 years but don't have any children because we both put our efforts into our careers and because I've struggled with PCOS and having children throughout my life. We both love each other very much, and although we don't have any human children, we do share our lives with 3 lovely canine companions. My husband and I have been married for a long time. It feels like things are getting a lot more competitive in the past, when we've dated on and off going through periods of high intensity, followed by calmer times. For some reason, I don't think my husband has discovered partners. Being in an open relationship for about 2 years was a huge experiment for us, and it brought a dramatic shift in energy to our relationship. Dog mom, you can relax now. Clearly the man had the decency to reject those young bimbos looking for a sugar daddy. But surely the woman needed variety in her life. Good for her, but she isn't ready for what is yet to come. We've been happy together for the past few months, and neither of us has been seeing anyone else. But my husband was invited on a trip to Colombia with a business partner about a month ago, and although I had hoped to accompany him, his business partners on attached status made it seem. I asked him if he wanted to start a family with a woman from there, and he said no, that wasn't what he meant, but that was very different in a good way. He didn't give me any details, but he said he was able to date beautiful women, and that he would get checked out constantly. If this doesn't convince her that she's making a huge mistake, I don't know what will. The people, he said, were so welcoming and friendly. In retrospect, it's difficult to fathom your rationale for embarking on an open marriage. Why does it bother you so much that he is successful at attracting females? I don't know what will happen, but my impression is that feminists would benefit from clearing their mental clutter if they were to adopt a more balanced view of the world. I thought that was the point of having an open marriage, or perhaps your jealousy has gotten the best of you and you're just being hypocritical. All of these questions need answering, and not a single woman does it, because that's what they always do. Make a valid point. then point the finger at men. When things go wrong, she elaborated that he plans to live like a king during his time in Colombia. The young women are a bonus, but being in a South American country also gives him the opportunity to take advantage of the country. The fact that he is wealthy makes it simpler for him to attract women, and by this point, it is most likely understood that every human relationship is based solely on transactional dynamics. In exchange for their unwavering devotion to him, they are given access to the hidden cage. The feminist wife from the developed world just can't seem to accept the fact that her husband is actually following the rules for once. He has even told her that he wouldn't mind if she moved in with him in Colombia, but she's clearly too unsettling for him to want that. As a result, Your Majesty, you have successfully let a loyal man go. This is one aspect of modern women that I find particularly offensive. They force themselves into uncomfortable situations, whine and cry publicly when things don't go their way, and do so all for the sake of gaining the attention their true man has so far refused to give them. What did we learn from this? Play their game and show them how it's done by playing by their rules. Please share this video with your friends and family. Maintaining her dominant position until then is the best way to keep these feminists in check. Don't forget to click the thumbs up button if you enjoyed this story and the lesson it attempted to teach you. I would appreciate it if you would subscribe to my channel and let me know in the comment section below that you have done so.